Shalom Aleichem, Mishnah Yomi continues for Zayin Tammuz, Shabbat, Parshat Chukat. We are in chapter 9 of Gittin, Mishnah Vav and Zayin today. As we see chapter 9, the last chapter of Gittin, has a lot of odds and ends and some really strange cases. We had 5 Gittin on one page. We had 2 guys with the same exact name sending a shliach. And now an amazing case in Mishnah Vav, Shnei Gittin. There's 2 get, Shekatavan Zeh Betzad Zeh. They're written right next to each other in 2 separate columns on the same page of paper. But the signatures at the bottom are not in 2 separate columns. Now we're going to get into trouble. Shnayim Eidim Ivrim by mitachat zeh letachat zeh. There's 2 witnesses who have signed in Hebrew, going from under one to the other. They understand Hebrew is written right to left, so they started signing Yaakov ben Ruvain A. They started under the right-hand get, and they finished the father's name under the left-hand get. Ushnayim Eidim Yavonim, and 2 witnesses are signing in Greek. Now, these are Jewish guys, but they know how to write Greek, not Hebrew. So they're signing in Greek, which is written left to right, and they're buying mitachat zeh letachat zeh. And they've started signing on the left-hand side under the left-hand get, and they finish their name, the name of the father, under the right-hand get. So it sounds like maybe both of them are okay, but the Mishnah says, Et she'edim rishonim nikru imo kosher. The get with which the first set of witnesses, the Hebrew writing, the left to right witnesses, the right to left witnesses, that one's kosher. So the right-hand get only is kosher. So what about the left-hand get? The Greek signatures are left to right, such as it would be in English or in other languages as well. So the problem there is we don't know if the one signing in Greek saw the signatures in Hebrew that were written with the actual witness's name on the right and the father's name on the left, and they might have tried to copy it. So they might have switched around the order in their signatures. Even though they're written in Greek, they might have followed the Ivrit order of the signatures, so really their names might all be under the right-hand get, and the father's names might all be under the left-hand get. The Mishnah adds, Eid Echad Ivri, Eid Echad Yavani. So what if the first signature signs in Hebrew from right to left, and then the second one in the Greek way from left to right, or any other language like that, and then Eid Echad Ivri, and then the third signature is Hebrew, Eid Echad Yavani. The fourth and last signature is also written left to right, Bayin mitachat zeh letachat zeh, and all of them stretch over the entire bottom of the page. So it's not like the signatures are all under one column. All of the signatures are under both Gittin. Shnehem Pesulin. Now both gets have a problem if they've gone out of order, if they have Ivrit Yavonit, because again, the first signature, we know where the name is, we know where the father's name is, but the second signature, even though it's signed in Greek or French or German, anything, they might have switched the order around to copy the order of their own name and their father's name as it was in the prior signature. So then the third one might have gone back to the regular order, and the last one might have switched the order again. So it could be you have 3 names under one get and 1 name under the other get, and then the father's names would be vice versa. Or it could be the other way around, where there's 3 actual names of the witnesses are under the left-hand get, and all the 3 of the father's names are the right-hand get. So we're really not sure if the signing is done correctly. So this Mishnah is why nowadays on a lot of official paperwork, they actually have a blank where you write your names. You're not writing your name under the wrong get or out of order. Let's go on to Mishnah Vav. Shir miktzat get. They left over part of the get, meaning they started writing a get and ran out of space. Then they continued on the next column. So instead of it being 1 column of text, it's 2 columns of text on the same paper. Eidim milmata, and the witnesses are under the second shorter column, the left-hand column of text, kosher. It's still good. And the Farshim and the Gemara point out, this is only when you can tell the get hasn't been cut up. Because you could theoretically have a case where there are 2 separate Gittin, like in the previous Mishnah, but they were written a little, they didn't start at the exact same point, and one of the Gittin had kosher Eidim and one didn't, so the guy who wanted to make his get kosher, his right-hand get, he might have cut off the top part of the left-hand get, and relied on the Eidim that were really not in his get, but were on a separate get written on the same piece of paper. So when you can tell it hasn't been cut up, but that the sofer intended to go over to the next column and continue the get and then sign under it, everything is fine. But the Mishnah adds, Chotmu Eidim Baroshadaf. What if the Eidim sign at the top of the page, Minat Sod, or at the side, O Me'acharov beget Pashut, or on the back of the paper for a get Pashut. Now, get Pashut is a normal get, it's the opposite of get Makushar, that special folded get, where they would sign extra signatures on the back every time they folded it for Kohanim to slow them down. Puzzle. In these cases, the signatures are not under the text of the get, they are puzzle. Hikif Roshel Shalzeh, Betzad Roshel Shalzeh. So what if they wrote 2 Gittin and they're on the same piece of paper, but they're upside down. So the top of each get is in the middle of the paper, and the bottom of each get is towards either side of the paper. Maybe they had two sofrim writing at the same time and, not meeting in the middle. The eidim be'emtza, but the signatories, the witnesses, are in the middle. Shneim psulin. Both of these gittin are not good because the signatures are not under either get. Sofer shozeh b'tzai shovel zeh. If now they have two gittin on the same page, but they both started at the edge of the page and worked their way inward, so the bottom of the get, the end of the get, is near the middle for both of these gittin, eidim be'emtza. The witnesses are in the middle. Etch eidim nikroinimo kosher. So which one you read with the eidim is kosher. So meaning if they signed it upside down compared to a get, that get is puzzle, and the one that's right side up, where the signatures, you can tell it's right side up compared to the language of the get, that one is kosher. In another case, Rosho shel zeh, Betzaj Sofa shel zeh, the top of one get is on the same piece of paper near the bottom of the previous get. So they wrote one get, and then they wrote a get under it, Be'edim be'emtza, and witnesses signed in the middle, in between the two gittin, Etcha edim nikroin, Besofo kosher. The one, the eidim are right under one get. That is the get that's kosher, not the other one. It does not have the witnesses signing underneath. Shar kochachem, Shabbat Shalom.